So we'll cut this at a specific length, and if we're starting here, this gives us even more room, because then our trunk cable, our inverter's offset by a couple inches, then our trunk cable's offset by a couple inches. That gives us even more room at the end to work with. Zip tie it, black zip ties. They make some metal zip ties, stainless steel zip ties. I've never used them. The black zip ties work just as well. You'll have a termination kit on the end of this. You just strip it back a little bit, weather tight connector on it. And that all is one setup specific for each manufacturer. But then you click your inverters in, everything goes down, zip tying it all the way. If you have a row of 3 panels and then a row of 5 panels, we'll talk about your layout, and we might, instead of giving you 8 openings, we'll give you 9, so you have the extra length to get down to the next set of panels to make that connection, so you don't have to do a junction box up here for these 3, and then do a junction box down there for those 5, and run Liquid-Tight in between them, and then go through. It saves you time. For the 20 or 40 bucks per opening this is, it saves you a lot of time. So once you have all this up, now keep in mind you have bond wire going through here, so if you needed to, strap your bond wire and your inverter trunk cable at the same time, so it makes it all nice and neat. You don't want to see anything laying on the roof, rubbing, not good. And make sure, some of these are a little bit flatter. Make sure this doesn't roll on you, because then when you go to clip it in, everything's going to be pressed against the roof. Then you come back through. Last thing you do before panels is get your sheet out and start peeling. These come in a bag. Some of them have a sticker right on them. You just peel the sticker off and make your grid and make your chart, so you know where everything is when it comes time to troubleshoot it 20 years from now. That is, once you have that part set up, for me, doing a, just doing a ranch, say 6-7 kilowatt system, I could probably do, if I'm on the roof for 8 hours, figuring an hour drive time, I could probably do all this for like say a 7 kilowatt system in one day. It seems like a lot, but everything on the roof, it's great to get that done in one day. So if you're doing a 5 kilowatt system or something, it's not, it's not like it's going to take you a couple weeks. You should be maybe on the roof for a day and a half, just thinking your way through. Don't rush it, obviously, but think your way through it. And it's not like it's a long process to install it. Paperwork, permitting, inspections, waiting. But the installation time really goes pretty quick. But yeah, once you have everything tightened up on your roof, your stickers removed, everything ready to go through the roof, then it's time to actually go ahead and start installing panels. Let's see. If somebody wants to give me a hand. These are about 45-pound piece. Depending on your manufacturer, you might have like a cross brace in here that doesn't really affect your installation. We like these Hyundai panels because they seem pretty rigid, pretty thick aluminum right here, where some manufacturers, they stand taller, but they're really flimsy. I don't care for that. But yeah, we just lift it. You see the positive and negative leads hanging off the back. But that's another reason why doing the DC inverters isn't really a homeowner, hands-on, do-it-yourselfer type of thing, because you have to keep track of that positive and negative, and if you screw it up or short circuit something, it's not good. This makes it kind of foolproof. So a lot of times what we'll do is we'll set the panel here, and I'll hold it, and then, you can hold on, 2 people. I usually hold it. My brother's usually laying on the, with his weight on that rail, laying down, clips them together, we flip it down, and then positive and negative, male and female, work quite simple. No, I'm fine. You don't have to worry about that. But, or I'll hold it at an angle like this, he'll put them in, slide out, I'll set it down, and then there's holes on the back side of this panel in certain areas. He'll just run a zip tie through that and pull the wires a little bit tight, zip tie to there, or zip tie to the top rail. And then we kind of adjust. something I should have said too is, we'll take a measurement, say we want to be at 15 inches. We'll take a measurement from here down with a Sharpie, we'll just mark the top of where we want the Sharpie to hit on the top of this rail, same thing on that side, so. And if we want to be in 3 inches, we'll measure in 3 inches and mark the rail, so we're not measuring and twisting and sliding and then, you know, taking a tape measure out and be like, no, just a little bit more, and then fighting everything, so. Let's say we measure it, and we come out with, okay, we're where we want to be. This rail, we're where we want to be, left and right. Again, I'm holding it usually. My brother Billy's laying on the roof, and then he'll put his head on the top and look at the line with the ridge. You know, it's really, you could measure, like there's times we just last winter we put a crooked system on someone's roof. That's how bad the roof looked. We made his roof look excellent after we put the system on because it all lines up, but his roof was pretty crooked. I don't know who built it or what, but it was like, you know, we looked at each other and said, well, what do you want to do? Make both the array and his house look like crap, or make them both look nice? And it, I mean, just looking at it, it wasn't a terrible house or anything, but with the shingle line and the way the ridge cap went, it was just like, I don't know what to do. So we put it in there crooked, and it looks great. I mean, it's a group. So
You get an old house and construct two way to level and use the eyeballs.
yeah, we talked about some people wanting to put this on a barn. That's a possibility. Keep in mind, you're gonna have to be more forgiving with just this slot of holes. There's gonna be some parts of your panels that are gonna flow a little bit like some waves, but
I don't think I'd get that name too.
we actually have an installation coming up this week that is on a roof that's probably as bad of a barn roof as I've ever seen. But I've told them, you know, just keep in mind, how tight do we go with these? I don't know. There's a torque specification on it. You'll have to look at it if you want to actually get a torque wrench out. I don't. We don't go crazy with them. It's just stainless steel. Do not use an impact driver on these. People do use that, but with the stainless steel, if it's spinning and spinning and spinning at a crazy speed, it heats up. And if stainless steel heats up, then you have what's called galling, and it basically welds itself together, and you can. I have a couple of clips in there that are junk because you sometimes tighten them down and loosen them and tighten them down, loosen them and tighten them down, you get the same effect. So it just binds them up and you can't spin it, and then you'll actually just snap the whole time. So tighten them down by hand. Don't, you know, it's not a race. And again, you'll notice this little T-bolt in here, slides in, and then as you tighten it, it'll lock in there. These will be, for your first time using them, it might be a little frustrating. We like to put them in, and then actually spin the shaft of the bolt to the side, and then go ahead and tighten them, because sometimes it doesn't swing in there like you want it, and then you tighten it and it just pops out, and you get frustrated.
It's right over the black lip.
What's that?
It's right over the black lip.
What black lip? Oh yeah, yep, just goes right on this black lip. You'll actually see, this one isn't that good. You'll see a little bit of a gap between here. The bottom end is tight. But if you come around here and look at the top end, there's a little bit of a gap because as you tighten it, it spins a little bit. That's not good to have.
I see.
So you just want to tighten that down a little bit. Loosen it, or you could actually just take a little bit of a, tap it over and then give it another, you know, eighth of a turn, a quarter turn. So, there's that. Now comes time for the weaves. It's good to be talking back and forth with whoever's helping you. I don't suggest that you go on your roof by yourself and try to do this because it really is a two-man job. Well, you start and say, okay, we're going to weave low. Put the weave in there. You notice a little retainer tab. Get you about where you want to be. Sometimes if you put the other panel in there and slide it over, it'll push its way and it'll push this one under the panel more. Well, that's not good because when you put this panel down, it's going to cover the weave like that or something. You're not really getting a good bite on this other panel. So make sure it's in there. As you slide this other panel over, you'll find you have to just lift it a hair to set it on there, and then it stays pretty good. Work this, the one with the weave, the mid clip with the weave first. It's a lot easier. And what we do is just get that mid clip in there. Don't tighten it. Just set it in there. and then we slide the next one in and put that mid clip in. So let me see here.